3b. Evaluate this integral. Okay, so I want to evaluate the integral of g from 1 to 6. I have a graph of g. So the way I find the integral of g is by paying attention to the graph of g. Starting at 1, go all the way to 6. So this area combined with this area will be the value of the integral. This area is 2 by 2, or 4. So that's part of the integral. The other part of the integral, I cannot compute these areas because of the curve. So I've got to use a different method of integration for that space. I've got to identify that I have a formula for g now, and I've got to use the antiderivative method. So I've earned 1 point so far for showing the grader that I understand that to integrate g from x equal 1 to x equals 6, I must find an area by just finding the area of the square, but I've also got to find the value of another integral from 3 to 6 of g alone. Different ways you could show that. This red box would earn you the 1 point. If you showed it like this line, that would earn you this 1 point. If you showed it like this line, you'd still earn that 1 point. I pull out the 2 because it's a multiplying constant. Now I must take the antiderivative of this. That requires the ax plus b rule. So I have 1 over a multiplied by ax plus b to the third power now, because it was the second power, divided by 3. And that must be evaluated at the two limits of 6 and 3. If I get the antiderivative correctly written down, the grader will give me a second point. Now all I have to do is plug in the limits into my antiderivative. So I say that the integral, again, make sure you're using the equal sign. The integral from 1 to 6 of g has to equal 4. That's carried all the way from here. Just keep using the equal sign. Plus, here's the 2 that I pulled out. Now I am evaluating the antiderivative. So I'm plugging 6 into the antiderivative, and I also plug in 3 into the antiderivative. And subtract. You got to make sure you have all the parentheses in the right places. And that would get you the third point. There really is no reason whatsoever to keep going. All you do is risk losing points. It does turn out to equal 10, but there's no reason to go find that. 3 total points for part 3b.